We're going to have a great afternoon here. A lot of guests that I think you're going to find very interesting. Of course, the band's going to come up. But before we start the proceedings, we're going to give you a little bit of a history lesson on Motley Crue.
Worldwide, talk about rock royalty.
Motley Crüe.
Motley Crüe.
Motley Crüe.
Motley Crue, behind the music.
So you'll notice that it says the final tour and not the farewell tour. And once again, my name is Joey Vendetta from the radio side and Joey Scolari from the Live Nation side. I did radio for a long, long time. Before I tell you a little story of how long I've known Motley Crue and our sort of sordid past, you know, this is a band that has done so many things first and done so many things to, you know, control their image and put out a certain message. And if you think about the history of music, you know, this is a band that really has never compromised and done things their own way on so many levels. You know, they've created some of the most talked about tours as far as production goes in history. They've sold over 80 million records worldwide. They've done sold-out shows all over the world, 5 continents for over 30 years. And, of course, they've extended their brand into TV, books, and we'll talk about movies and a bunch of other stuff here. We got a lot of great guests here. But the band is embarking upon not a farewell tour. You know, farewell tours are something that in this business we've come to kind of take for granted, and then the band comes back the next year. This is it, folks. It's over after this. This is the final tour, and we actually have the band's attorney here, which, by the way, you should get danger pay if you're the band's attorney, to tell us the how and why on that. But there's going to be 72 shows before all is said and done. You're going to get a press release when you leave here, so you'll have all the details, but 2014 in the U.S. and Canada, 72 shows. The fan club presale and VIP presale goes on sale tomorrow, Wednesday, January 29th. So the VIP and fan club is tomorrow. The general public on sale is Friday, the 31st, and some shows will go on sale on Saturday again. And if you want details, you can go to motley.com, and that's where this press conference is actually streaming right now. But Rick, first off, you know, tell us about the relationship with Motley Crue and what they're about to embark upon.
We've had tremendous privilege in working with this band. Motley Crue are total pros, show up, just give it all every time. 3 hours plus of sensory overload. 60 of the shows are going on sale this weekend. We wanted to be as inclusive as we can to all the fans, so 60 or 62 of them, we have tickets priced as low as $20. We want to make sure everybody has an opportunity to be in there. And then in another dozen or so of those, we actually start at $15. So we want everybody to be there.
We're going to talk to their attorney now. Doug, this is something I've never heard of it happening before. I've never heard of a band doing what Motley Crue are about to do today. They're going to do it here on this stage, if I'm not mistaken. Can you speak to that? What we're here for, in addition to announcing the tour?
Well, I haven't been punched out yet myself, but at one time or another, they've all threatened me. So, including during this process. A couple years ago, the guys, somewhere around their 30th anniversary, they did Sunset Strip Music Festival. The guys were thinking that the end will be nigh. That at some point, you've got 4 unique personalities who are all recognizing that these 4 unique personalities as a touring rock and roll entity were going to hang it up at the top of their game. The day came within the next couple of years where they continued to say that. They don't agree on much. And they said, we all agree that we're going to hang it up. We want to do it in a manner. We've seen too many diluted trademarks and brands over the years playing the wrong rooms with the wrong members. And what's the best way we can make sure that that doesn't happen with Motley Crue? And without getting into sort of confidential information or tools of the trade, suffice to say we came up with a methodology that's the best methodology we know, short of sort of selling your trademark, but then somebody else could use it, for these four guys to join at the hip and overcome sort of trademark law, partnership law, shareholders agreements, and do something that, which is what all other bands have, and do something that bands haven't done before, to my knowledge, in almost 30 years of doing this, which is all agree to lock it away for touring purposes. And it wasn't easy, and everybody had their own counsel, and we worked through it and got it done, and they're ready to come sign it today and guarantee that they're hanging it up once and for all.
So tell us about Motley and Dodge partnering together and how that came about.
I mean, so for us, I mean, it was a natural fit, right? I mean, the most notorious rock band over the last 33 years, the most notorious car brand over the last 100 years. So, I mean, for us, bringing this all together and being able to, you know, be a part of the final tour, I mean, it was a no-brainer, and it's a match made in heaven, or maybe a match made in hell would probably be a better scenario, you know. But no, it's going to be fantastic. It's going to, you know, we're honored to be along for the ride, and no, it's going to be a lot of fun. We all know it's the 25th anniversary of Kickstart My Heart, so we're going to be using that song in some of our creative this year for Charger and Challenger, and we're kicking off a Dodge Power Rally tour in February. So we're going to link up with as many tour dates as possible over the next, 72 cities, and just promoting this partnership as much as we can through all of our social media channels, all the millions of fans and followers that we have. So, we're coming along for the final tour and for the final ride here for the next year or so.
So Scott, you're going to put out a tribute record.
Yeah, absolutely. This is going to be a joint venture between Big Machine Records, 11-7, and Motley Records. I've got Florida Georgia Line confirmed. I've got Brantley Gilbert, Justin Moore, Eli Young Band, Cassidy Pope. Leanne Rhymes texted me about 2 hours ago. She's going to be in, and she wants to rock out on a... It's going to surprise you what she wants to do. And everybody that I have brought this up to has been so excited, because I didn't know how how people would take it, and they're like, oh my God, I would love to be part of this record. So we're intentionally leaving a few slots open, because I know now that we have announced this, there's going to be a lot of people that want to be on this record. And we're going to make sure that that we hold up our end of the program and deliver a great record that Motley Crue fans will love.
Jeff Tremaine, who's the director on The Dirt, which is a book that is one of the most incredibly entertaining books I've ever read. And Jeff, of course, you'll know him from Jackass fame and recently Bad Grandpa. So this guy knows how to survive dangerous situations, but I don't know that this one won't be the most dangerous he undertakes. What drew you to The Dirt and to turn it into a feature motion picture?
Well, I read the book in 2002, and it's the fastest I've ever read a 300-plus page book, and so 3 weeks later, which is about the speed of my reading, we passed it around, and we were just...
And that was straight, right? You read it 3 weeks straight.
Nonstop. Okay. It just, I felt really connected to it. I'd been doing Jackass now for, I've been on a ride of, our own bad people. And I had to do it.
Please join me in welcoming one of the icons of the genre, ladies and gentlemen, Alice Cooper.
When you get Motley Crue and Alice Cooper together on a tour, that's going to be rock and roll at its most extreme.
So what can we expect from the final tour? You two together, you never toured together before, am I
No,
correct?
actually, that's one of the reasons we're doing this is because we haven't toured together. And the fact that I am their spiritual advisor. I think that's very important because they need a lot.
And without further ado, put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen. All bad things must come to an end. Motley Crue. How you fellas feeling?
Dead.
Perfect. Sounds like nothing's changed, right? You know, we were talking before you guys got here. So many bands use the word farewell. And farewell's kind of like so long. I might come back.
Yeah.
Right? You guys are going to do something here that I've never heard anybody do. You're gonna sign a document. This is the final tour. Tell us about, you know, we'll start with Nikki and Vince. Tell us about the final and the idea and how this happened. Like, who started it?
Well, I mean, we started talking about it a few years ago, and you know, we don't want to be one of those bands that maybe have one guy left in it or somebody's brother or something like that. You know, we want to go out with the 4 founding members of Motley Crue and go out on top. You know, and leave a legacy of a band called Motley Crue.
Nikki, yourself?
I mean, for us, we're really proud of our band. We started this band. No one believed in us. No record company would sign us. We figured out, you know, none of us graduated high school, but we figured out how to form a record company, which is kind of funny. And we then figured out how to distribute that record, and none of the record companies believed us in Los Angeles, and we sold 40,000 copies of that first record, Too Fast for Love, and that launched our career. And we since then have always been just very proactive about everything we do, including the end of our career. We said, like Vince said, we started talking about, you know, how do we want to go out? We don't want to hobble off into the sunset. And Tommy said it best recently when he said a farewell tour is when a band does a farewell tour and then gets back together and does another farewell tour and then breaks up and gets back together until there's no milk left in the titty and it's a rip-off to the fans. And so we decided to call this a final tour and sign a contract telling you that this is real. Because we want to be proud of Motley Crue. We want our fans to be proud of Motley Crue for decades to come.
Talk about, Tommy, how important it is for you guys to be inclusive. I was talking about the ticket price. There's going to be tickets for $15, $20. How important has it been to always make sure that every type of Motley Crue fan has access and the ability to come and see this band over the years?
Well, it's always been important to us. I mean, you know, we take a lot of pride in in everything from, you know, the production, you know, involving fans in the show. You know, I think it's just been something that we've always taken a lot of pride in.
Why go out now? I mean, you guys are young. You still look great. You could do this for a long period of time. Why pick this tour?
I mean, it's a good question and something that we've talked about amongst ourselves for, like Vince said, the last few years. It's because of that. It's because we are on top. It's because we are, you know, holding it together and we're playing better and sounding better. We want to leave a legacy. We want to have some dignity. We feel that there's a lot of bands out there that don't have dignity. We started this band because it's something we believed in, rock and roll. We want to call it a day and like I said, be proud. You know, I mean, it's pretty embarrassing what's happening in the state of music with bands out there. There's, I don't want to name names because I just don't think it's really my place, but you know there's so many bands out there that just, they're ripping you off. And we're not going to do that. I've known these guys and they've known me and longer than we've known anybody except for our parents. Yeah. Longer. We've been through everything together. So there's going to be a lot of emotions going on. But, you know, this is a celebration. It's not a bad thing. You know, we're poking fun at it with the hearse and the funeral procession and the headstones to kind of make a point. But to be honest with you, it's a huge celebration for us, and we're proud of what we're doing. We're not taking this very lightly. It's going to be a really fantastic, amazing tour.
You know, we did everything against the grain. You know, we were never a critics band. You know, never won any big awards. You know, but we were always been a fan band. You know, that's the thing I think people are going to remember about us is that we did it right because we did it the way we wanted to.
We're calling it a cessation of touring document, which is not a phrase that anybody's used before because there's never been such a thing as far as I know. And it's an agreement that binds the 4 of them to not utilize this trademark for touring in the future.
Cool.
Lake Mars, make it official.
There you go.
There you
Done.
go, everybody.
Thank you very much.
Once again, let's hear it for Motley Crue. All right, thanks again, everybody. Thank you very much for coming. And again, you're going to get info on the way out. Thank you.